Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea, and today I'm starting a brand new series called Self-Care Sundays, all right? For those of you who may know, or those of you who might not, I'm a certified self-care and health coach, and along my journey, I've learned a lot of things that I want to share with you guys, and so through these Self-Care Sundays, that's exactly how I'm going to do it. So in this video, I just want to give you a little bit of information about who I am, where I'm from, all that kind of good jive, what makes me even qualified to talk about this shiz, a little bit about the history of self-care, and then also what I'm hoping to give you guys and share with you all moving forward in the future. All right, so first and foremost, like I said, I'm a certified self-care and health coach, but it's not always been that way. I actually come from a background of very much self-hatred. Growing up, I did not like myself in the slightest. My favorite sentence was, "I don't care." And I was very much so overweight. I was never tiny. I was always a big girl growing up. And so because of that, because of the self-esteem issues and hatred and all that kind of shit, I ended up having to lose 100 pounds. So did that, pretty awesome. But with that journey, you reveal a lot about yourself. It's not just a physical journey. You realize that it's also a mental and emotional self-care overall journey. And so it's gotten me through a lot of things, including, like I said, I was very so much self-hatred, including self-injurious behavior, including self-mutilation, suicidal ideation, and even issues with alcohol. At one point, I had an issue with pills, and I can get into all of this later if you guys want to hear about it. But currently, I'm originally from Kentucky, but currently I live in downtown Denver on my own, so there's a lot of self-care that goes on because I'm by myself. I also prefer to travel alone, so solo traveling is a very introspective way to kind of take care of yourself. Not saying that I don't like people, because that's kind of where I've had to learn the most self-care, because I absolutely love people, but I absolutely love being alone too, and my energy comes from both. I'm technically an ambivert and I'm an empath, so I have a lot of energies coming at me from all directions, and so I have to protect that energy. Like I said, with my past, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and I finally realized after a huge manic breakdown that I have bipolar depression too, after going to a doctor and they told me that. And so it makes perfect sense for everything that goes on in my life. And I'm not saying that you should just believe the first doctor that tells you that. I've literally been in and out of hospitalization since from the age of like 13 to 22. And so I will not say that there hasn't been a major episode since then. However, I will say that I've learned to take care of myself since then. I will officially say that my journey started in 2011, and so we are going almost on a decade now. So there's a lot of that I want to share with you guys, but where does self-care even come from, all right? Self-care actually started off in the 1950s as a medical concept. Doctors knew that, like, appointments and checkups and things like that just weren't going to be enough, and that people needed to find a way that they could take care of themselves by preventing illness and by like eating better, little things like that. And it actually started with simple tasks to help nurture self-worth. All right. In the 1960s, it evolved a little bit, and academia kind of picked up on it as they were researching PTSD. They're finding out about PTSD and things like that. So they started to recommend self-care to first responders, therapists, those in the helping professions, nurses, doctors, social workers, all of those kinds of people. It was a way for those to protect themselves from the things that are going on. And vicarious trauma is a very real thing for those of you who, like myself, who've been in the helping profession. So as that evolved in the 1970s, it actually became political. So during this time, the women's and the civil rights movements were kind of like coming to a head at that point, and activist Audre Lorde actually came out and said that caring for oneself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare. The reason she said this is because she is a Black lesbian woman, and she had a medical system that was going against her at the time. Don't know if that sounds familiar to those of you who, like myself, who live in the United States, but I wouldn't exactly agree that my medical and my healthcare field protects me. I literally have to do it for myself, and that in itself is an act of political warfare, because once you're awake, when you're taking care of yourself, you don't depend on other people, and this is a whole other video that I would love to get into. However, that is not what this is about. But It is about taking care of yourself, and it is a radical act of claiming your autonomy back. It is an act of claiming your sense of self-worth and who you are and what you're here for and what you want to be. And so it's expanded drastically since the 70s, but with my own personal practice, I focus on 4 areas: mind, body, heart, and spirit. All right. And so I've been able to not only help myself on this journey, but I want to help other women be able to take care of themselves, because how often are we just pouring ourselves into other people? But you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself first. And that's what I want to help people do. So moving forward, you can expect me to be sharing tips, exercises, lessons learned, any other things that kind of come to mind that I think might be able to help you guys, because I know that there's a movement going on, and it's a movement that people are waking up and you're feeling it, that you need to take care of yourselves. And I want to be there helping you, because for the last decade, I've been trying to take care of myself, and I feel like I've gotten to a really good point in which I'm able to give that knowledge to you guys and to actually help you take those small steps to bettering yourself and helping you become your best self. All right. So if you'd like, follow me on YouTube. My Instagram is @CarryOnChelsea. I love to travel, like I said. So if you are anywhere in the world that's fun, please shoot me a message. But I just want to end this video by asking you guys, what is your mandatory self-care routine? What is it that you must get in at least daily, that you have to complete for your self-care to know that you are balanced in life? All right. So I want to know that below. Love you guys. I'm going to see you later. And this is the beginning of Self-Care Sundays. If you have any questions throughout this time, please post those below. I'd love to reach out. But until then, go out, be your best self today, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.